The footage that's actually playing was showing Khora and the new upcoming Onslaught. I think it was Sanctuary Onslaught, which is, as weird as this is going to sound, the best way to put this, they call it Dark Sector 2.0, but it's kind of like a defense meets survival where you have to just survive for a certain amount of time and you get points for the amount of enemies that you take down, and they will drop certain things that increase the void. Oh, I've completely forgotten what it was actually called. Stability? Yeah, I think it was void stability, but it's a little meter, and this I'm looking forward to. We'll get onto the rewards to this after they actually showed off Khora's abilities. At the minute, they are kind of, what's the best way to put this, placeholder-ish, because they did say they called these for now. The first ability is basically whip. It's called Whipclaw, and it's an AoE whip attack. It will use melee mods, kind of like Valkyria's fourth ability. The second ability, Ensnare, reminded me a lot of Harrow's, and it will slowly pull the enemies together, and it'll work really well with the first ability. But visually, look pretty nice. I love whips, so her first ability, second ability, straight off. These things look like they're going to be really, really useful. Then there was, of course, the third ability called Venari. This is the one that summons the Kavat, and yeah, the way that it's going to work, possibly we will obviously find out when she turns up. There was supposed to be a way of changing her attacks from impact, slash, and puncture. Whether that is going to stay or not, or whether that will even be a thing, I have no idea, because looking through the overview, it actually says pressing 3 again, or activating the ability again, will cycle through the modes rather than changing the damage type. So I've got a strange feeling that different damage types that she was going to do have now gone, because the different modes are attack mode, defensive mode, defensive disarm mode, sorry, and healing mode, which means no more different damage types. And I really like the look of that, because the Kavat the tail was going to change from a hammer for impact. It was just one for impact, one for slash, one for puncture. I think puncture was like a rapier, and slash was, I don't really remember, probably a sword or something sharp. Was really looking forward to that, but yeah, I guess changing the modes is great. That's something that I've wanted for, I've been looking forward to eventually becoming a thing for a while, but more when you have the AI companions like the Clem mission or a Syndicate mission, being able to change the mode that they are in when they are following you. This needs to be a thing for all companions, not just Khora's third ability. The fourth ability, Strangledome? Yeah, they didn't really show this one that well because you need a big open area, but they said it was like a playground dome, the way it was going to be laid out, and it's basically going to grab and hold enemies in the air, and it will deal damage over time. So it's not defensive, it's a huge crowd control to this if it grabs enough enemies. It depends how many enemies it grabs, but the reason that I said I'd mention more on the Onslaught at the end rather than started at the beginning is because, oh, where was it? I was reading somewhere, Simaris has captured Khora in the Sanctuary, and to get her parts, or release her, you have to take on the Onslaught, which it's all going to be Simaris based, and it's not just her that actually drops from the Sanctuary Onslaught or the Void Onslaught. I'm pretty sure I heard it referred to as that before. The Dark Sectors 2.0, whatever it is, it just does look so nice. I've heard a few people call this kind of horde-based missions, and that's, if I'm really honest, why I really like defense missions, because it's kind of like horde. You have to defend something, and hordes of enemies come up towards you. this is going to be the same kind of thing, but you have to pick up the void stabilities that I really don't know. They did say something about they randomly appear on the map, or it could have been the portal that they're referring to, because after every wave, depending on how long it is, one they showed, I think it was 2.5 minutes, but in the notes for it, it said after 2 minutes, a portal will appear as long as you keep the void stability alive. Otherwise, when the void stability runs out, the mission runs out. And the rewards for the missions come every 2 waves. At the beginning of each wave, there will be a 45-second focus booster, kind of because this is Simaris based. And if you have lenses on things, then obviously the percentage will be increased. But the percentage you get from this bonus will be increased every wave as well. So focus farming on here could be a lot of fun. But they also mentioned peculiar mods, which are just going to be mods that are based not around damage or ammo or making something better, but, well, I'll just throw this screenshot on, and yeah, they're just going to add weird features to it. This one was, on crit hits, flowers will grow on your enemies. They've named a few other ones, but this was the only one that they could actually show, and they did mention that this Sanctuary Onslaught, Void Onslaught, Dark Sectors 2.0, whatever you want to call it, will be coming next week, but also at the same time later on said, hopefully next week. So this could come next week, it might not come next week, it could come with Khora, it might not come with Khora. It's all kind of a if it's ready kind of thing. And honestly, if it's not ready for next week, waiting another week for it to actually be ready, I've said this loads of times in the past, I would rather wait an extra week than have to deal with a week of bugs. Bug fixes, yes, they are a thing. There will probably be lots of them when this comes out anyway. But waiting an extra week is not a problem at all. It's just, it really isn't. Anyway, we'll leave this off here for now. Really starting to look forward to both Khora and the Sanctuary Onslaughts. Void Onslaught, Dark Sectors 2.0. I really cannot remember exactly what this is going by anymore. It's probably in the title of the video though, because I'll look it up before actually putting the video up. But anyway, we'll leave this off here for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch yous next time.